Alright guys, my name's Rabir and I hope you're all well. This video is quite interesting because I get to decide the blindfold challenge for Rob and Lee. So I figured we'll break it up into two parts. The first blindfold challenge is going to be for me to choose 3 Gibson guitars. So that's going to be an SG, a 335 and a Les Paul. And then I get to play those individually and Rob and Lee are blindfolded and they have to guess which guitar is which. That's part number 1. Part number 2 is that we get a Gibson 335 SG and Les Paul, and then we get an Epiphone 335 SG and Les Paul, and then they're blindfolded and then they have to play these guitars and work out which one is the Epiphone and which one is the Gibson. So it's probably going to be pretty difficult, but the first part is for me to choose all the guitars for this video, so I'm stood in the Gibson world. So I think the best way to do it and to be most fair, in my opinion, to make it fair, would be to go for standard models. I think if we do like custom shop stuff and, you know, special editions, it's just going to get a little bit convoluted, so let's keep it standard. So they all have to be gloss necked as well, just because it's easier. So first of all, let's just double check we've got everything we need. So we've got Gibson, Les Pauls, Epiphone Les Pauls, Gibson SGs, Epiphone SGs, and then we've got Gibson 335 and Epiphone 335. I think we're safe. Okay, let us get to work. Well, that's a 339. So we might. Is it worth getting a 339? Nah, we'll do 335. Okay. Where are the standard 335s? Let's get. Yes, 335. Okay. So this is the 335 in cherry, this is the ES335. I believe this should be more or less standard, give or take a couple of features, but I do think it is pretty much the standard 335. So that's the Gibson one. I need to get the equivalent Epiphone one. So, I mean, it's a bit of a no-brainer, but there is an Epiphone 335 right there. Now they've got the Dot and the Dot Studio. I mean, probably just the Dot, to be honest. Yeah, probably just the Dot. It looks more or less the same, I guess. Yeah. Exactly the same. Well, there you go. Okay, Les Pauls. So, just having a look at what's in store, I can see a straight up 2016 Les Paul standard in ebony. So that's probably a good option, as long as they've got a Epiphone version, which they. Oh, it's got a satin neck. This is the Epiphone Les Paul Standard Pro. It's got the Pro buckers in, which is good. Coil split, and it's a gloss neck, and generally speaking, it's kind of what you'd expect from a Les Paul. So we could team that up with a similar colour one just to be, you know, accurate. Probably this one. Similar neck profile as well, actually. Just from holding them, I can tell they're quite similar, which is, I guess, it's a good thing. So these are our Les Pauls. Okay, finally we're on to SGs. So, as you all know what an SG is, we may as well go to that section. Now, we can go with. Let's see just if they've got the SGs. So yeah, so the Epiphone SGs, they've got like a satin finish one, which I think this is incredibly affordable. I think this is like one of the base model SGs that they do, and it's got a satin finish neck, but it's not open pore, which the Gibson versions are. So I think to avoid any kind of confusion, we should just go with a gloss colour, maybe SG, and just be good with that. So I've just spotted an SG Pro, which, I mean, it's pretty solid. There's not much to it outside of the SG realm, I guess. So it's a solid black gloss finish. So the only thing we need to do is just double check we can get a covered pickup gloss black version of the Gibson. And the only one I can see is not gloss black, it's gloss cherry. But again, covered pickups. See, the only difference is this one's got pickup rings and this one doesn't. So that's a bit of a... You wouldn't tell that. Oh no, wait, there's another gloss black one over here. Cheers. I've just spotted a gloss black Gibson SG. Now again, the biggest issue we've got is that this one's got pickup rings and this one doesn't. So provided that they don't, I mean, that's going to be pretty hard. I mean,
they won't. Surely not.
It's more the feel. Like if they put their hand on this guitar and they feel pickup rings, Lee might know full well, because I know what Lee's like. He knows his stuff, and he might just know that Gibson versions don't have pickup rings, and then the whole thing flops. But that might not happen. I have faith that it won't. So you know what? Let's go with it.
Are we coming in?
Yeah, go on then.
We're blindfolds on, yeah?
Yeah, hold on.
You need to be guided over.
Oh, sorry, I'm being recorded here. Look at this.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Look, hang on, this is live, isn't it, this one? Okay, look, inside, just in case you're unsure, this is carbon fibre kind of line. It's probably a bit dark there, isn't it? Can you see that sort of carbon fibre line? So once these are on, yeah, we can't see a thing.
Right, let me bring you in, so you know where to sit.
You'll make it.
Hold my arm.
There we go. Hold my arm. I've lost Rob.
Oh, okay, right, got it. Okay. Look out for the microphone.
I'm over here, you.
I found it. There you go.
That's so disconcerting.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Lee's to my right.
Yes, he is.
We never.
Well,
do
I feel really. You've done this intentionally to disorient me.
Yeah, disorientated.
So you are both sat in front of the Sheriff 44, which is where the sound's coming from.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to come from directly behind you.
Thank you.
So are we ready to go?
And did we explain what the point of this video is so far?
So B is going to play a bunch of different guitars from a famous brand called Gibson.
I am indeed.
We are going to have to guess whether it is the expensive version of guitar or the affordable version of guitar.
That's part two.
That's part two.
That's part two.
Part one is that I have an ES335,
Yeah.
a Gibson SG,
Yeah.
and a Gibson Les Paul.
All
All standard
which?
range, all 2016 standard. And you got to guess which one's which.
Oh god, the SG and the Les Paul will be interesting.
It will be interesting, but let's give it a go. So I've got the first one plugged in.
Can I just say, in the interest of fairness, I suppose, is it the fact that we're going to be able to hear you playing these guitars acoustically? We'll have to have the amp reasonably loud, otherwise the 335 will probably be a giveaway, won't it?
That is a great shout, but also the only way we'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
Worry not.
So-
I've ensured that you will not hear the acoustics of the guitar.
We're going
above the
loud, are we?
amplifier.
All right, fine.
No, we're not going loud. We're just going loud enough.
Okay.
All right.
All right, all right.
Okay,
so
Just
here-
check. I'm just checking.
And also, for the record, can't see
No, good. So here we go. I'm going to start us with the first guitar. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you want more or less?
I want you to hit an open G chord.
Okay.
Could you play You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC?
Is it this one?
either you look like Angus Young with your fine SG, or you're playing something else, and I look like a twat.
So you think it's an SG?
I think it's gnarly.
Okay, I'm going to take you one further. I also think it's an SG.
Yeah.
Here is my thing for you, Lee. I think we should also guess the colour.
Well, there are only 2 colours in the current American Standard SG, so you guess, and then I'll go second.
So the 2 colours are red or black?
That's right.
I'm going to go black.
I was going to go red.
Okay.
It just sounded
And
like...
it's not going to be an SG, and it's not going to be that colour.
All right, let's go. Next one.
Okay, so that was guitar number 1.
Yeah. And I should qualify. I'm expecting the SG to sound a bit less bassy and a bit more punchy in your face kind of sound, and that's what I thought it was. But it's all relative. This next one might be more SG sounding like.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Straight in on the G.
Yeah. Loads more bass
that's
end.
it. Yeah, tons more bass
Loads
end.
more bass
And
end.
what's interesting is Rabia doesn't sound comfortable playing it. Like, it sounds like he is good at playing, clearly, but he's not particularly comfortable on this guitar.
Still sounded good to me. I thought it was a Les Paul.
I don't think it's a Les Paul.
You think 335?
I think it must be 335.
What colour?
Isn't the only colour red?
No.
What's the other colour?
Sunburst, natural,
So,
cherry. Unless it could even
well,
be.
I went black with the last vote, so I'm going to go like a cherry for this one.
Okay. I thought that was a Les Paul.
You thought it was a Les Paul?
I
do you think?
I don't think that was a Les Paul.
Because it still didn't sound open enough to be the 335 and acoustic gear, but it had just a lot more bass in it.
Yeah, but you see, that's why, because we put distortion on the tone so that it was harder to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
By the way, I'm basing my decision purely on how much I know my Frobro and his playing skills. And
well,
I think
that's
he'd be,
unfair. I think that's unfair.
Well,
Yeah, that's a
you
lot
know
better.
him quite well as well. I reckon you got.
But he sounds good to me, whatever he
Rudin.
plays. Come on, last one.
Okay,
then.
this is the last one then. I need to cough.
It's going to be a telecast.
I need to cough so you can't hear me put the jack
Okay.
cable in. Right, we're on to the last one.
Yeah.
In again with the G.
That's the sound of a happy Frobro playing a Les Paul.
Okay.
Or an SG. But I'm going to stick with my previous decision that the first guitar was an SG.
Oh, well.
Therefore, for me, that has to be a Les Paul. And
That one sounded like it had a tiny weeny bit less gain and was very bassy again. So I'm going 335 on the last one. Because
Okay.
I know the pickups on the current range of the 335 stuff are a little bit less output.
now
than
there
on
are a
the Les
million
Paul.
colours of Les Paul.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Tobacco Burst.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a 335, so I'm going to go Sunburst 335, and my previous one, which I thought was a Les Paul, I'm going to go Iced Tea.
Iced tea.
Yeah.
I could really do a Long Island iced tea
So
right
now are we allowed to...
No, take your blindfolds off
We
now.
can now.
Now you can see all the guitars to my right,
Yeah.
but you don't know which order I played
No,
them
I
in,
don't know
do you?
which order you played them in.
Okay, so
I can't see the Les Paul. Can I have a look at the Les Paul?
okay. This is the Les Paul.
Oh, wrong on the colour of the Les
Yeah,
Paul.
I think I was wrong on every single colour.
Okay.
Okay, so please tell me that we didn't think the hollow body was an SG.
Okay, so here we go. Guitar number 1.
That was, and that's obvious.
Why
It
is that
was very obvious.
It was
the sound.
It was the sound of an SG, and the
Yeah.
bit that I kind of, there's something I'm just trying to think if that doesn't sort of just reinforce the whole thing that guitars have a certain character and
Getting a little bit freaked out now that I think I've got the colour right on 2 of them as well.
So there
yeah,
you go.
did, I think, didn't you as well?
Well,
But that's just a guess, isn't it?
unless I got the Les Paul and the
The SG you can hear, it has a marked less bass end than either a 335 or the Les Paul, and it's got a sort of gnarliness now, and I'm not even entirely sure. Now I know on the modern range.
Do you think that's because it's a thinner body and a fat neck?
It
has a bark to it.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, in years gone by, I know Gibson have shipped the Les Paul and the SG with the same pickups in it. I don't think in the 2016 range that the pickups are the same on the Les Paul and the SG, which obviously will probably enhance that difference. But even when they've had the same pickups in them, I've always felt that the SG had a more barky.
I think it's to do with the scratch plate too, and the way it's been routed.
Because they're mounted to the scratch plate.
I think that makes a big difference to the tone.
But aren't they? These are mounted to the pickup rings, aren't they? They're not direct.
Yeah, but there's no scratch plate.
No, I'm not sure that.
Anyway, should we move on to guitar number 2?
Yeah, guitar number 2.
So this is guitar number 2.
Eno and win!
Damn it!
Wait, I was taking your hand. So you have to shake my hand because I just won.
You did win.
I couldn't believe it actually when you said black SG and then you said red 335.
That was an absolute fluke.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
And yet that sounded more gainy to me than the Les Paul.
It had a more low end though, and also
Do you think
really.
what you think the second guitar?
Can I have a little feel
than the third?
Oh,
guitar?
I'm allowed to, or am I going to?
Oh no, you can't feel yet. No, you're not allowed to do that.
Close,
we nearly lost it then.
Did it feel a little bit uncomfortable to you?
This, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to this guitar.
Yeah, I knew it.
But I thought that this had more of a bite in the gain than this one. You said this was more gainy.
That had low more low end, and that had low more gain. Yeah.
It's really interesting. But to be fair to you both, you know your guitars.
Well, I obviously don't, do I? But
well, it was so close.
The SG one was the obvious one.
Yeah, you did immediately. You just went, it's SG, didn't it?
It literally.
You just knew.
Yeah, and the other, it's weird because
I
still.
You don't own an SG.
No, that's probably why. The low end was very similar between the two. It was in the mid range.
If you were to treat yourself to a lovely SG one day, probably win competitions like this.
Yeah, and you know what as well? I know this sound. In fairness to the SG, the one thing that I love about the SG standard, I've got. I'm going to sound like a horrendous snob now, but I genuinely feel that the custom shop Les Pauls and the top end Memphis 335s are worth the money over the standards. The SG, for me, the straightforward £1,000 SG standard ticks all the boxes.
That's great.
I wouldn't go above one of those in terms of money. But
that was the most comfortable playing for me, the SG. That's probably because the body was thinner.
Yeah.
Used to that, but
it's more like a modern guitar. All right, so
well done.
Then that round one to me.
Well done, you.
Thank you, sir. And
so, what's part 2?
So, part 2, as we discussed earlier, is that we have the Epiphone equivalent of these guitars. You're going to be blindfolded, and you have to play each model, and you have to guess if it's the Epiphone or the Gibson.
Oh God!
So that's going to be tough. Because I spent some time picking out the best equivalent of these guitars.
And they're gonna be good. So they're gonna be like not like mega cheap Epiphones, but like good Epiphones.
Well, they'll be, if they're the standard equivalent, they're going to be like a quarter of the price of any of these. Maybe even less than a quarter of the price.
Okay.
And so if we get these wrong, then obviously
it's really
tragic.
embarrassing.
So there are obviously certain rules, like you can't put your hand on the headstock. I guess maybe I'm going to make sure they're all in tune. Well, even though that didn't on the first round, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
And then I guess you just
right. Let's do this. What's the dance that people do when they go around like this?
Now, Rob, you go straight in a straight line, right in a straight line. Keep your head down. Straight line. Yeah, you're still right in front of you. Right, and you right here. There you go.
Right here, right now, right here.
Okay.
Do you know what, Rob? Can I say this?
You say anything you want, sir?
Are we rolling on film?
We're rolling on everything.
I've just said, this is no word of a lie, and I guess the only reason I've thought about this is walking in being blindfolded. But a guy phoned me up the other day from, no, this isn't even, and he'll know who it is, but he phoned me up from a society for blind people, honestly, to thank us for doing videos in such a way that helped people who were visually impaired.
That's really cool.
Better decisions about what gear to buy.
That's awesome.
I know, which I did think to myself, and fair play, because I tell you what, having a blindfold on for like 5 minutes is bloody hard. Fair play. If that's how you spend your entire life, fair play to you. We should all try harder to
to be
make
better.
these guys
Appreciate
lives,
our gifts.
better.
So round 2.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you want to start with first? SGs, 335s or Les Pauls?
Let's start with SG since that was the first of the previous one.
So I guess there's one guitar is a Gibson SG, one is an Epiphone SG, and you have to go. I think it's X or Y.
Okay.
Do it then. Right now. Why don't you give me one and Rob the other?
Because I think individual experience is better.
Oh, don't even know what that means.
It means that one at a time you can't noodle and you have to really focus.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Rob? Okay.
Okay.
That's still the Sheriff, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
Good sound.
Can I change pickups?
Yes. No, down. To your right. Left, sorry. Left, there you go.
Okay. hold that?
God, it's really difficult.
So am I holding this for you?
Yeah, you got it, you got it.
All right. Well, and you're playing the next one, or am I playing this one?
Do I need to now?
Okay.
Do I need to now say what I think it is, or wait till Lee
Wait
finishes?
till Lee plays, then you both have to debate it.
It's not bad for blindfolded. Oh, feels nice.
Well, I think I'm at an advantage here.
Why?
Well, I own an SG,
You do.
and I own a full fat Gibbo one, and that, although that sounds great and it plays great, that's not a full fat Gibbo. From my point of view, that is an SG. It's an Epiphone.
Lee?
I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
It feels. I need to feel the other one. In fairness, it feels like polyurethane finish to the neck, which would suggest it's the Epiphone, not the. It's not the.
But playability and tone.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it sounded, and I'm referring back to when Rabir just literally played those few chords in the segment before. I thought the SG he played then sounded a bit more raspy and a bit more open, almost like the pickups had slightly less drive than this one.
Yeah.
So I'm going. But yeah, I will go with you as well, Robbie. In fact, I'm just going to copy you because you always get these right.
Hey, don't just copy. And next time he has to make a decision first.
All right, I will say I think that might be the Epiphone, but I need to try the other one before I reserve judgment, before I make my final judgment. Please don't get these wrong. If that was the Epiphone, bearing in mind that's a what, £250 guitar, something like that? Was it £300, something like that? What a great guitar for the money.
Oh, you know what? You're not going to believe this.
Oh, you think that's the Epiphone, do you now?
You're not going to believe this.
What?
I swear on my life,
Yeah.
I can smell that this is a Gibson SG. I swear on my life. That is the smell. Am I not wrong?
Did you smell it?
I
Did you
can
lift it up?
What do you want me to do? You want me to smell it?
Give me your head.
God, what's going on here?
Smell this SG.
It is an SG.
You're not allowed to smell.
It's the
who
smell
said
of
we
the
couldn't
case
smell?
It's the smell of the case as you open it.
Don't take away the smell,
that's a
bro.
giveaway.
It's a really important.
That's a great way to do this. Yay!
How?
Cheating.
What, you're only... That's a Gibson SG.
I wish I had more conviction in these videos. Oh, sorry.
Okay, ready?
Were you handing it over?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
the smell. It smells like a Gibson SG.
the back of the neck feels not. I can't even really describe what the sensation is. It's because it's quite sticky feeling the back of the neck.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
but it's just not.
Veggie burger.
It's not that sort of artificial feeling. It's a great sounding guitar. And the pickups, I think, have got less output, so it's sounding more open.
It's just a bit brighter.
And it's a nicer guitar to play.
I don't know whether it's got more or less output. I think it's just a bit brighter.
Maybe. I think
It feels nicer to play. The other one felt great, but
Yeah.
that's an SG.
yet again, absolutely doesn't feel 4 times nicer to play, which I think, or 3 times nicer to play, which is the sort of the rough price differential between the two. But it feels better to play, and I think it sounds more authentic.
You know what? More
and
importantly, it
open.
smells better.
Yeah. Anyway, Gibson.
335s or Les Pauls.
335, I guess.
Whatever.
Also, no more smelling the guitars. All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Really nice fret job.
Are we allowed to know which Epiphone you went and got, B, or is that a secret?
Well, you need to wait till the end.
So I mean, did you get a Dot or a Sheraton? It's a Dot, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Where's the selector switch? Oh, there. Okay, found it. I don't know enough about this guitar. Okay, so Libre. My gut feeling is that might be a real one, as in a Gibson, but I'm going to reserve judgment.
Real one. Real one. Where's the blooming switch? Hello?
Touched it about 5 times.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, real one. Should I tell you why real one?
Why?
Because I think I can feel the difference between a nitrocellulose lacquer and a polyurethane lacquer. I mean, everything about this guitar, it's nice to play. I like the sound of it. Switch feels sturdy, stuff like that. But there's just something, unless, of course, this is the Epiphone, at which point I'm going to make myself look like a bit of a prat. There is something just different feeling about. It's like,
Okay, well, I'm going to get Epiphone, and this is purely
You think this
because.
is you think
Well,
this is
I'm only going
Epiphone?
to say that because you know what, I don't have any experience of this model really, and for me, it felt good, but it didn't feel like overwhelmingly great. And however, I do remember Rabia said that it wasn't a very comfortable guitar for him. We're quite similar players. I don't know. I'm just out of my arse. I'm pulling Epiphone.
Okay.
well, try the cheaper. Well, try the cheaper one. That's me assuming it is. Try the other one first. Please let me be right.
Well, that click sounded a lot more expensive.
Oh no.
That's heavier.
Is it?
Yeah. Are they? It's bigger. Is it bigger?
Nope.
I prefer this.
Oh,
Oh
no.
God, I can't find anything.
I can't tell you how much my entire career flashes before.
Yeah, I prefer this one. So I guess this is the more expensive Gibson. But who am I? You got it?
Yeah. It is heavier, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, but that's the only thing that's kind of making me unsure.
I'm going out there on a limb and going, I prefer the first one. I prefer the sound of the first one, and I prefer the fretboard of the first one. So, if this is the Gibson, I'm sorry Gibson. I think this is the Epiphone. I think the pickups feel or sound like they're pushing the amp a bit harder.
Yeah.
And it's not allowing the guitar to sound as natural. So I am, and again, I think the lacquer on this feels more like, I think I'm feeling the difference. Hey, I'm seriously now beginning
You're
to
worried,
realise
aren't you?
that, well, I'm about to basically, here's a chap here who's responsible for buying and selling thousands and thousands of guitars every year through one of the biggest music stores in the country. And as soon as you put him with a blindfold on, he can't tell the difference between an Epiphone and a Gibson. This is embarrassing. But I think this is Epiphone. So, you know, there we go.
Yes. So,
I preferred the first one. I'm just saying that for the record. I preferred the first one.
For me, it was the other way around.
Yeah. Whether I preferred it enough, again, to pay 4 or 5 times more for it is another matter.
Okay. This is a really, really good playing Epiphone. Epiphone, but it's a very good one.
And it's coming to me?
Yes.
Epiphone. I think Epiphone.
Why are you thinking Epiphone?
Just
Is it the feel?
just again, I think all the
you've played
Epiphone,
a million Les Pauls, haven't you?
Well, all the Epiphone guitars are coming across with a pickup that I think is a bit hot and a bit fizzy in the top end.
Bit busy or fizzy?
Fizzy.
Fizzy with the busy.
In the top end. You know, subtle. And again, this has the sort of the slightly harder feeling, sort of more artificial sort of feeling lacquer on the neck.
Right.
I
Okay,
think,
well then, so we're agreeing on that.
yeah.
Well, let's find out when we play the next one. It would be so bad.
So bad.
So bad if we got
So
the Les
bad.
Paul. Well, I don't think you're going to need to feel bad because this just feels like a Les Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just... Well, if that isn't a Les Paul, my name is Sheila. Preparing to be called Sheila.
This surely is. It's just got an instant
Feel.
and I think the sound as well. The sound's
Yeah.
throaty and open and just satisfying.
much easier to play for me as
Yeah,
well.
easier to play, and again that just slightly different feeling neck. That's which I this to me has probably, assuming it is the Gibson, is the one that feels like the biggest upgrade from the other one.
I would agree with you.
So,
Although
can I give this back to Revere now? And I just want to reveal if I know anything about anything.
can we de-blindfold?
Hang on, let me put that guitar down.
You could
just
de-blindfold
extend
now.
the tension.
Oh, that hurts.
Right, so what do we have? Oh wow, we had some cool looking...
By the way, just in case anyone's going, they can't see. A, I can't see where that is
definitely
anyway.
can't see. You
And
cannot
then B,
see.
you can't see.
You cannot see. Oh. Come on then, Revere, reveal please.
Wow, they
Because-
really look similar.
I spent a while looking for the best stuff.
You really did.
So your SGs,
These are
Yeah.
identical.
your SGs,
Yeah,
you were bang on.
yeah.
You
Both of us
guessed
were bang on.
right. You guessed them right. You both guessed Gibson correct and Epiphone correct.
Personally, I think Gibson should give Lee Anderton an SG for that.
Okay,
He
next.
hasn't got one.
Okay, so on the 335s, Rob was wrong.
Oh,
Lee was right.
Oh no.
Because the reason that I chose that specific dot was because it was heavier and I wanted to throw someone off. Because I thought weight would make me feel like it's dearer. That's why I did that.
I
This feels
certainly,
great though.
I certainly think that on that one, 3.3. I mean, I've got a 335, and it's the guitar I used the least, and I think it's definitely one of those guitars that you're either into it or you're not. But anyway,
Well,
I only want to know about the last one. I really, genuinely only want to know about the last one.
But before we do that, can I just say, it's obviously setup plays a big part. But
Yeah.
for me, the Epiphone plays better.
I made the action as even across the board
I
with all
don't-
guitars as possible. But anyway,
Yeah.
Les Paul. You were both right.
Ah, yeah.
That would have been bad, because that really was, despite the fact, again, you know, I mean, the Epiphone, I think in all fairness, all these reviews really reinforce to me is the Gibson ones, you sit there going, well, they're a bloody lot of money, so you'd hope
They're a bloody lot of money.
they'd be good.
Sound like BFG
You know,
then.
you want almost everyone to be a bit like that Gibson Les Paul experience, where you pick it up and you instantly go, yes, that's a great guitar. But the mere fact that the minute you take eyesight away as
Yeah.
one of the senses, the mere fact that you're questioning yourself is testament to the fact that what brilliant guitars Epiphone make for the money.
You know, for me, and this might just be a bit of a silly thing, but I just wish they had the same headstock shape.
Yeah. Well, do you know, I would go back to it all saying the thing that gave me the two things that gave me the most conviction about the choices I was making was the feel of the lacquer and the sound. It wasn't actually the playability.
Somehow I feel like the first one was tainted by the smell.
Hey, I can't help it if my superhuman
Did you-
natural powers aid me in this quest to work out
It'll
what
be
things are.
interesting to see whether or not that tonal difference comes across. I felt that one of the things on the Epiphones, and I don't know if they used the same pickup across all three guitars. I suspect on a brand like Epiphone, it probably is the same pickup on all three guitars. I felt that the Gibsons were able to allow much more of the character of the guitar to come through. So you know the Les Paul sounds like
More
the Les
open
Paul,
sounding.
the SG sounds like the SG. Whereas the Epiphones, I sort of found there was quite a homogeneous sort of sound. They just all sounded.
Well, the Epiphone
Very
Les Paul
similar.
has Pro Bookers in it, and
Right.
the Dot has the Alnico
Oh, okay.
humbuckers. So
Okay.
they are different. They are different.
Well, there you go.
Interesting.
Thank you for watching this challenge. If you have any ideas for any other challenges we could do,
Well,
please
somebody
let us
wants
know.
to do like a solid state versus tube challenge, and I think we did that. But I'm loath to do the solid state versus tube challenge, just purely because it's so bloody obvious when you're sitting in front of them which one the solid state amp is and which
Yeah.
one the tube amp is. I don't know whether or not there's all
Why don't we play back a recording?
that's where you would struggle.
That's
is
a really
if we mic them up. So
yeah,
there you
maybe
go,
we
there's
should
a
do some
challenge.
more Kemper versus real amp challenges.
Yeah,
or something.
we'll do a thing where we record it and then we have to say which is which.
Just give us
That's
some
a good
ideas.
idea.
Give us some
yeah,
ideas.
give us some ideas.
We're interested in them. Anyway,
There
I've
we
been
are.
Rob Chapman.
You look great in those goggles. By
Thanks,
the way.
bro.
No problem. See ya.
Bye.